Is this guy supposed to be the ultimate badass?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's Frisco Report, special edition with my boy, Cowboys Corner, Mike. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Frisco Report. All right, my homeboy Joe in the building, man. We got a good show for y'all tonight. Y'all tune in, smash the like button right now. Just do it. It's free. It's free to hit like.
He's in the building.
Yeah, bro. It's the day of days. It's the 3-year report for the 2021 draft class, the regrade. All right. We're going to talk about that first, and then we'll close it with the latest news and rumors. We've got a lot to cover. So without further ado, let's get into this regrade of the 2021 draft class. All right, Mike?
Let's do it.
So first thoughts. When this draft first happened, how pumped did you feel about this draft class at the time, Mike? Can you remember?
I can. I was, going back, looking at some reaction videos, just remembering what I posted. I had some concerns, but I had a lot of optimism, and that's what I remember. That's what I remember. Some of these players we talked about, and some of these players we didn't talk about, and now we're going to talk about it again.
Yeah. I think my overall initial reaction to this draft class was I thought they knocked it out the park with the first pick, obviously. But after that, there wasn't much more after that. It was kind of you did good with the first pick, and everything else was kind of we'll see. I mean, we'll go to the players real quick here, Mike. The first pick in the 2021 draft class, Mike. This is the Micah Parsons draft class. And like you mentioned before we came on there, this is Dan Quinn's first draft with us. And it was heavy defense. All right. So let's go over the list of the players, Mike. First player we drafted in the first round, Micah Parsons. 3 years later, what's the grade?
A-, Joe. A-. Micah Parsons is definitely a guy to be reckoned with. Very respected in the National Football League. We know his full potential, Joe. I'm giving him an A-, Joe, just for the simple fact that we can't have 2.5 sacks in the last 7 games, right? And if you look at his career with the Dallas Cowboys, he's kind of fallen off later in the year. I need clutch Micah Parsons. I need playoff Micah Parsons, right? Nowhere to be found in the 3 playoff loss, 2 against 49ers, 1 against these Packers. So that's why he gets an A-. Still a very good grade. But hey, you want A+ from me, Micah, you got to give me those clutch sacks.
Yeah. I have this as an A. All right. I think it's a fair grade. I think A- is really good. So there could be an argument for A+, but I think that's reserved for the best of the best. I'm talking Zach Martin, Aaron Donald, Randy Moss, that type of pure elite type of person. All right. So for me, Micah, he gets an A. You hit on all the points there. I'm right there with you. He gets an A. I think he will get a second contract with the Cowboys. But he's got to finish strong. You know what I mean? I don't want to see this get a second contract and then he flounders. I want to see him improve. I want to see him have a Von Miller type of career where the sacks just keep coming. All right. Mike.
Yeah.
In the second round, this is the pick that I think you and I both absolutely hated. It was rumored. This guy, I remember during the draft coverage, he was the guy that choked one of his coaches, and we always made fun of it. Like, we would joke about it, and then we drafted the fool. I was like, "Are you kidding me, bro?" Kelvin Joseph, Mike, in the second round. What is your grade after 3 years?
F. A complete F. You know, he really didn't do much. I don't even think he got an interception as a Cowboy. I think he got a fumble recovery, but I don't think he got an interception as a Dallas Cowboy. He made his mark on special teams, and boy, has he ever made his mark on special teams with penalties, all right? Every time we've seen Boss Man penalty fat yards out there, it wasn't good, Joe. That's what I dubbed him on Twitter. He was Boss Man penalty fat yards because he always had boneheaded decisions he always tried to fight somebody. You know, it was in the passenger seat of a drive-by shooting, of a fatal drive-by shooting at that, Joe. One of the worst picks. I think Randy Gregory looks a lot better as a pick than Kelvin Joseph, bro. All right. Period, point blank, end of discussion.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's an F. I didn't even close. I would even say F minus just to give him the lowest of the low. He was terrible, bro. He couldn't even play. He couldn't cover. Yeah, he just didn't have his head in the game, man. He was more busy with his crappy rap career. It was trash, bro. It wasn't even good. A wasted pick, bro. But that's what they like to do, man. They like to do the second round rolling of the dice. This year's draft, you could say it's a little bit of a roll of a dice as well with Marshawn Nealon, you know, small school prospect, you know, has potential, but again, second round rolling the dice. All right. But you know, this 2021 class, Mike, Kelvin Joseph, there are way more players better than this guy available. They screwed this one up real bad. An F minus. Yeah.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Mike, here we go. Round 3, Osa Odighizuwa, defensive tackle out of UCLA. What's your grade after 3 years?
I give him a solid B. I give Osa Odighizuwa a solid B. I like me and Joe, man. I'll tell you, we argue about this player a lot via text. Like I try to avoid Osa's name because that's when me and Joe argue is because of this player right here. All right. Like, I like Osa Odighizuwa. I think, you know, Joe said it behind the scenes. I'll let him touch on it. But, you know, I got to agree with Joe. Maybe this defensive coordinator can get more out of him. But from what he's done up in the last 3 years, you know, I liked it. You know, he took fault his rookie year against that first 49ers game. Him and Neville Gallimore took a lot of blame, you know, for that. But I'm a big Osa fan. I like Osa Odighizuwa. And, you know, his second contract, it ain't going to be, you know, top market notch. I think he might get a hometown discount with them, but I like the depth that he provides, and I think he is a starter in the league.
Yeah. So I give him, and actually I give him I'm close, you know, I'll give him a B minus, you know. He's really, for me, he's kind of teetering between a B minus and a C plus, only because I think it's a Dan Quinn thing. I don't think Dan Quinn does a good job coaching up defensive tackles. Right? Oh, the Legion of Boom! All these fucking guys. That was a once in a million type of defense, bro. Right? They had all the ingredients. Everybody helped everybody out. He has yet to produce that type of success. He had busty defensive tackles at Atlanta, and he kind of brought that here. But Osa, I think, you know, I think he's good. You know what I mean? And I think we might even be surprised of the contract that he might even bring. You know what I mean? I'm not sure there's a guarantee that the Cowboys will afford this guy. Be quite honest. They'll give him a deal, but these cheap dudes, I don't know, man. I don't guarantee it. But yeah, I'm a B- on Osa there, Mike.
Cool. I did not expect that.
3 years later, Chauncey Golston, defensive end out of Iowa. He was a round 3 player, Mike. What's your grade on him?
I'm gonna go D plus. All right. You know, he's a depth player, but that's all he is, dude. When we drafted him, we thought we kind of seen a Tyron Crawford type of guy, and it just really hasn't worked out. You know, he's played all on the line like a Tyron Crawford, so we got that right. But the success that Crawford was able to give us, he has not even came close to becoming that. So he definitely gets up. Where I just give him a D minus, he definitely gets a D minus from me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Mike. Chauncey Golston in the 3rd round, man. That's nothing to sneeze at. That's a high pick. D plus for me. Right. Same thing. When are you watching a game and saying, "Oh yeah, there's Golston making plays"? We rarely call his name. You almost don't even know when he's even playing. I mean, it's not a good pick, bro. And I think he too has kind of capped out. Obviously, they're going to give him a chance here to show what he can do with Zimmer, and maybe Greg Ellis can teach him some things here, because Dan Quinn sure didn't get anything out of him, nothing. So D plus Chauncey Golston, Mike. Right?
Cool.
The disaster pick of disaster picks with the Dan Quinn influence, Mike. Also in the 3rd round, Nashon Wright.
Who?
What is your year 3 grade on this one?
Yeah, Cowboys. It should be Nashon wrong because they did not get anything right about this pick. All right, Nashon wrong. You know, I give him a. I'm gonna give him an F. The expectation that the Dallas Cowboy organization tried to sell us. Where is it? Does he even play special teams? He was on the practice squad forever, just last year. Like, this is definitely a roster teeter cut here this summer. Nashon wrong was a horrible pick.
Yeah. Not good at all, man. Not good at all. Nashon Wright for Jahan Dotson. Let's poke their eyes out. Make a trade. Right? Yeah, I'm with you, bro. F minus, bro. Just it was a stupid pick at the time. Nobody knew who this guy was. I mean, even Dane Brugler was like struggling to find some info on this guy. He didn't have him as a 3rd rounder. I'm gonna say Brugler had him like late round dude or something.
I can see why.
Yeah. Oh, the measurables. He can blanket the field and his arms and this and that. It shrinks the field. What a gimmick, bro. Dan Quinn, he was a gimmick, bro.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of guys that he influenced.
Right.
And Will McClay gets a good part of the blame too, because he buttons up the draft. No, Will McClay, he gets influenced by coaches, man. You know,
right.
And Dan Quinn,
favoritism in that office.
Oh, yeah. So F there. Round 4, Mike. At the time, this was called Jabril the Steel Cox, because Jabril was kind of projected to go early, but he had some injury concerns, so he dropped to the 4th. Hence the name Jabril the Steel Cox. But Mike never developed never really turned into anything. Had the devastating injury, and he was cut loose. What's the grade here on Jabril?
Before ACL, I'm gonna give him a B minus. The way he played against that Giants game, he showed the potential. You look at the preseason, he showed the potential. Then he tore his ACL. And I talk about this all the time. Under Mike McCarthy's leadership, you tear your ACL, you're not going to come back the same. A lot of people say it takes 2 years to come back from this injury, but a lot of players, it doesn't take them 2 years. It just takes a Dallas Cowboy 2 years. And, C minus for him before injury. After the injury, dude, he just never came back the same. He lost his burst. He lost his confidence. He lost the step. And now he's on the Washington Commanders team. Dan Quinn's going to give him one more look over there. And God, when he knocked out Daniel Jones, that was the speed, that was the quickness, that was the sideline, and why he got the name Jabril the Steel. And after that ACL, they kept him on the roster, and the only thing he stole was a roster spot. So that's why he's an F now. But before that, he was a C minus.
Yeah. No,
I said B minus. B minus.
Yeah, he's an F for me. Only because he's no longer with the team, never really translated, and at least with Chauncey, we gave him a low grade for good reason. But Jabril, he just had that one highlight. It was a great highlight, but no longer with the team. I got to go F there on Jabril Cox 3 years later. All right. The next one here, Mike, round 4, the controversial pick, the wife beater, girlfriend beater, whatever you want to call it. Josh Ball wants to get physical with women, but damn it, not on the field against men, bro. What's your grade here on Josh Ball?
Cowboys dropped the ball, drafting Josh Ball. All right, horrible pick, wasted pick. Could have went somewhere else. They didn't. He's on the team. He's about to get cut because Austin Richards and the other guy that we drafted, Nathan Thomas says hello. And so this is, I talked about this last week, getting the roster garbage out with these draft picks. Josh Ball's roster garbage, all right? We're going to take the trash out, and there's no recycling bin for that ball.
Yeah. Josh Ball, F minus, just not getting anything out of him. Oh, Nick Stones with a super chat, Mike. See what Nick Stones has to say here. From Nick Stones, would feel a lot better if we had Ridgeway right now. Yeah. Ridgeway, it was what draft class was that? That was like 1 or 2 ago.
Him go. 2 years ago, I believe.
Yeah, they missed on that one. They shouldn't have let him go.
5th round pick, Arkansas.
Yeah, who'd they go with? Who'd they go over him with? I think wasn't it Bohanna that kept over him?
Yeah,
not good.
Yeah. It was
Appreciate
Bohanna.
that super chat, Nick Stones. Yeah, I wish he was here too. He would be a good. I think he would be a Zimmer guy, to be honest. Ridgeway.
Ridgeway had potential, but I think at the time, Quinton Bohanna I remember seeing Quinton Bohanna and us getting excited like, that's that Baconator we were talking about, right? And I think Ridgeway, if I'm not mistaken, remind me of a Nick Hayden type of guy. Short arms, big body. I got to go back and look at Ridgeway's measurables, but I think that's what it was. And there was more upside potential, but Quinton Bohanna was coming on strong and playing better than Ridgeway, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was something like that. Appreciate that, Nick Stones. I agree with you.
I'll throw all kinds of names at you. I bet none of y'all remember Nick Hayden.
Mike, the cockroach, the receiver that would never get cut, but stuck around for a long time. Simi Fehoko, bro. Round 5. Grade him 3 years later.
An F minus. All right, this is my first F minus. Fans just got too excited over nothing. I didn't see the hype in the beginning. I didn't see the hype at the end, and I don't understand the broken hearts when he got cut, dude. I really didn't. Glad he's gone. He's a team hopper now, and he can call Josh Ball and take his ball and go home.
Yeah. I'm there with you, bro. I think he's a franchise owner of Crumble Cookies. I think it's the last thing I saw. That's
Hey, shout out
right.
to their business, though. I might try one.
Yeah, they're actually not too bad. Not too bad. So that's probably a good thing for him. Invest in that money. But as far as Cowboys, 3 years later, not with the team, like you said, hopping around teams. F minus. Overhyped. Cowboys fans love overhyping receivers. Oh, Nathan Vasher, you're sleeping on him. Guy was stiff as shit, bro. He sucked. Andy Jones, the speed slot guy, didn't do shit. Who's another one?
Oh man, dude, there's so many, dude. There's
Every year.
Every year.
So Fehoko was this guy. F minus, bro. Mike, round 6, the Baconator. Quinton Bohanna out of Kentucky. Kelvin Joseph's teammate. Right? 3 years later, what's the grade on Bohanna, bro?
I have to give him a D because, I don't know why he got cut. I really don't. I thought there was reports coming out from DallasCowboy.com that his training camp was solid. So it was a shock that he got released. I think he's with the Texans now, if my memory serves me right. But I was shocked that he got released as well. I really was. And but at the same time, he was part of that Christian McCaffrey run over, all right, in the second half there in the last couple of playoff games there. And, that's why I'm giving him a D. And, and the D doesn't stand for defense. The D stands for disaster.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is there. Q, was it called him? Quinton Bohanna. D minus for me. Almost an F, but I think he did contribute here and there when given the little opportunity. But Dan Quinn couldn't develop him. He's terrible at developing your defensive lineman, and Bohanna never turned the corner and ended up getting cut. So yeah, that's D minus for me there, Mike. Round 6, Israel Mukuamu, J.C. Horn's teammate. Oh, maybe he's going to be even better than J.C. Horn. We got to steal. Remember that crap?
Oh, yeah.
Fans be coming up with some overhyped crap, bro. Like, oh, it might be. They're going to convert him and this and that. Man, dude. Mukuamu, for me, D minus as well, bro. I think he's contributing on special teams when he's not deactivated. And that's the grade for me, Mike. What do you have for Mukuamu?
Dude, one of the funniest things. So, the draft calls come out.
Yeah.
Mukuamu told Jerry, you drafted the best corner in the draft. That's what Mukuamu told Jerry. He gets to rookie minicamp and they say, oh, by the way, you're a safety.
No, man.
I find that flipping hilarious. But no, it's an F plus for me. F plus. Just special teams is where he goes. He wasn't the best corner in the draft. We can say that, but F plus for me.
Yeah. And to close out the 2021 draft class, Mike, Matt Farniok, the offensive guard out of Nebraska. What's your grade on Farniok? No longer with the team.
I'm gonna give him a D plus, dude. I'm gonna give him a D plus. I liked his center guard flex. I think he started some games for us, and I think he held his own. I that's what I remember. I remember liking Matt Farniok for some reason, but I'm gonna have to give that a D plus. And I guess he got cut last year, so he's with the Detroit Lions.
In Wilman Clay, we trust, right? You look at this draft class. Oh, let me give you my grade first. Matt Farniok, I'm there too. A D plus, only because he gave you some depth. They carried him for a few years, So he was able to stick around, give some flex, emergency depth, but that was it. That was absolutely it, and he couldn't really crack into the starting lineup for more than a few snaps or a game. I don't know if he played a game, but yeah, that's it there, Mike. So overall, you look at this draft class. Dan Quinn's first draft, defensive heavy. We got a lot of D's. We got a lot of F's. The highlight, obviously, is Micah Parsons and Osa. After that, Mike, not a good draft, right?
Right. No, if you guys remember correctly, the 2020 season, the Dallas Cowboys were 32nd in defense. Mike Nolan was fired. They bring in Dan Quinn, and this is a Dan Quinn watered down draft. All right. Getting Micah, they traded with the Eagles. They moved back a couple of spots, and they were still able to get Micah and gain a draft pick. Great. An influence watered down by Kelvin Joseph, Chauncey Golston, Wright, Jabril, Quinton, Bohanna, Israel Mukuamu. I mean, these are a lot of defensive picks, Joe, that we could be using right now, and it just didn't work out. If Nashon, if Kelvin Joseph worked out, Stephon Gilmore isn't here, right? And we have some young talent there, but thank goodness Gilmore came, made a couple of plays. If Chauncey Golston worked out, you're not drafting a Mozzie Smith, and hoping that you could, you go get a different player and you don't have to worry about drafting Mozzie Smith, but it didn't work out. Same with Quinton Bohanna. There's a lot of pieces here that Dan Quinn watered down for Will McClay, and it really sucks.
Yeah. No, you make a good point there on Dan Quinn. They gave him the opportunity to reshape the defense. They got it with Micah. Micah and Osa really saved this draft class, because otherwise it went down in flames. 3 years later, it's a fail. As far as like your numerical grade or a grade overall, you take away the A, you take away the B with Osa, and it's not good, bro. So 3 years later, 2021 draft class, Mike, very good with Parsons, solid with Osa, but that was it. 2 players out of a bunch of players. That's why I say, Mike, I fear the large draft classes with this team, because every time we have a large draft class, it's like these guys don't know what to do with the picks, And this is what we got to watch out for next season. Oh, we're going to have comp picks up the ass. Yeah? What are they going to do with them? Are we going to do this shit again? If we are, I don't want to do that.
You had 3 third-round picks and you screwed it up.
Unbelievable.
You screwed it up, dude.
Yeah. They didn't do good in this one. But that is your 2021 regrade, Outside the headliners of Parsons and Osa, not a passing grade. Not a passing grade.
No, not at all. I think collectively with that draft class, I think it balances out to like a C, a solid C.
Yeah. Yeah, when you put in Parsons and Osa, it maybe equates to a C if we're trying to be nice. But hell of a draft by Parsons, though. We traded down, still got our guy. And we'll see what he does the rest of the season. Mike, let's get in some news of the day.
Let's do it.
The main one, Mike. We wake up to the news of Mozzie Smith. It's been the topic of the day. Talking about he's 307 or something right now. Zimmer's trying to get his weight up. That's very low, right? And then the article about Mozzie, having some mental health type of issues, dealing with stuff off the field. Does he really like football? This sorts of thing, Mike. So let's talk about that. Do we need to give him a chance under Zimmer and see how it goes with Zimmer? Or are we teetering on a full blown bust here?
He's very teetering Very, very, very much teetering on a bust. And what's going to set him back? Yeah, Mike Zimmer might and Greg Ellis might be get something out of this kid, but they can't touch him. You know why? He's returning from a shoulder surgery. So when is he going to be able to get influenced by these guys? Right? Because if he's not there mentally, he's not getting mental reps. Right? He's not even paying attention. If he's in a state of depression, he's not taking in mental reps. He's just not. His brain isn't able to do that. That's how depression works, right? So he's teetering on a bust. Do we give Mike Zimmer and him a chance? Sure. It's a fresh start for him, right? Dan Quinn, the guy that drafted you, the guy that you believed in you, he didn't believe in you a lot. So let's see what Mike Zimmer can do. And if that can't work out, Mozzie Tacos, all right? Serve it up in Michigan.
Yeah. No, that's what it is, man. And talking about mental health, it's always a slippery slope. You know what I mean? You want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but the Cowboys have a history here of trying to get mental type of players to perform, and they just don't. You think about Randy Gregory, you think about David Irving. They had flashes, but there was always something going on, bro. Some kind of meltdown, some kind of not showing up, getting suspended, just stupid stuff, bro. So I'm not out on Mozzie by any means, but it's teetering, bro.
Right.
It's definitely teetering. So I'm pulling for him. He's a first round pick. We need him. Hopefully Zimmer can put some of that magic dust and make him something, bro.
Yeah, put some little pixie dust in there. Let him fly. Let him soar the National Football League, Mike Zimmer. Do you
That's what we need. That's what we need, bro. Mike, the other topic of the day is this running back committee going to fail? Nobody really knows if it's going to be by committee or is it going to be overruled by favoritism, the size of Zeke's contract, this sort of thing. Are we just setting ourselves up for a delayed trade by the trade season? And if so, why don't they just make that move now?
Well, if you look at the running back room right now, I think they got like 6 or 7 guys that they're trying to see. Okay, who do we got? And training camp, you might see some players get cut, and you might see some new running backs come in. They're going to just kind of just wash that out, all right? And you might see that before training camp too, where they're going to just bring some new running back faces in and then roll with those guys. The running back by committee, I think it can work. Because if you looked at last year's running game, it was basically running back by committee, right? And Tony Pollard didn't turn on what Tony Pollard does until week 11. And so when you look at that, Joe, you look at what Dowdle can do, 500 yards, limited touches. So we were like, why is it Dowdle getting touches here, right? So Dowdle on limited touches, 4.1 yards a carry. I think I like that behind a revamped offensive line. I know you hate that, but I like where the offensive line is going. I like running in between guards and centers now. I like that. And so I think you're going to be able to see that a lot better with Dowdle. Zeke, I think is going to be your third and short situation guy. I don't think there's no way any legit coach, especially Mike McCarthy being a head coach and a offensive coordinator, can sit here and sell me that Zeke is an RB1. You just can't do it. And, you look at Dowdle or Nathaniel Pete, there's some potential there with Nathaniel Pete, right? He has a lot to learn. He was undrafted for a reason. But at the end of the day, what they did with the line, all the running backs I just talked about, I think they can do good. And don't sell me on Deuce Vaughn. Wasted roster spot, practice squad Vaughn. Don't do it. That's where he's going, practice squad.
Yeah. No, Vaughn, we talk about this all the time. Those little feet. Those little feet, but ain't
Running
going
so-
anywhere. He's too small.
What do you say, Joe? Those feet are moving fast, but he ain't getting nowhere.
It's crazy. It's like, bless his heart, man. Cowboys love doing this in the draft. Oh, let's draft somebody and then make whatever.
Feel good story.
Yeah, I'm pulling for everybody. But I just don't think that one's gonna work. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like they are kind of setting themselves up to eventually they're gonna have to flip one of those fifths that they got coming and pick somebody off a roster at the end of the day. Who that would be? Plenty of guys out there, but who knows, man?
Right.
So I think that's about it, Mike. Hit up the regrade on the 2021 draft class. Appreciate your input. Great conversation. Shout out to everybody in the chat box. Pound that like button if you haven't already, bros. Can't do this without you, man. And we're going to go into our off-season mode. So we'll figure this thing out here with me and Mike. We might be every 2 weeks or so. But we'll kind of see how everything goes. Any breaking news type of situations, we might hop on and talk about something. But we do appreciate you guys support.
One more thing.
Yes, sir, Mike. Go ahead.
Follow us on Podbean because me and Joe we talk late, and every once in a while we'll say, "Dude, let's stop talking. Let's go live on Podbean." The Frisco Report on Podbean. You can get some spontaneous live. Just we're doing it because we're talking for an hour and we're like, dude, we need to put this on a podcast. So follow the Frisco Report on Podbean. You could get some just random content there.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. Something that we'll probably actually be leveraging more during the dead zone season. So good point there, Mike. That's why he's the best in the business as the co-host of co-host. Cowboys Corner. Mike, let everybody know where they can find you if they haven't already, bro.
Yeah. No, appreciate you, Joe. You're the best at what you do. I promise you are. _ Cowboys Corner on Twitter. All right. I just popped a hot tweet over there today. It already has like 1,000 views. It's going crazy, all right? It's going crazy, but no lies were told. So go pop over there, _ Cowboys Corner. Go give that baby a like. Go give it a comment. Go give it a retweet. Cowboys, official Cowboys Corner right here on the tubes, all right? We keep it funky.
That's what it is, guys. That's what it is. We do appreciate you guys. And we'll see what these guys do this season. It's going to be a roller coaster season, no doubt, but we're here for it. That's it for tonight, guys. We'll catch you for the next show. Peace out, everybody.